Let me be honest, I wanted to love the DDJ-REV7. I really did. On paper and on specs, it's the perfect controller for a technical scratch DJ nerd like myself. But the REV7, for all of its wonderful features and well thought out construction, has 3 problems that could potentially be deal breaking, with this one being the biggest. Faceplate wear and tear. If you're into scratching, this section will eventually look like this. Now, if you think I'm nitpicking because this is just normal wear and tear or because you can cover this up with the skin, professional mixers like the Rane 70 and 72 have better faceplates that don't encounter this issue. And for a $1,100 DJ controller marketed for open format and hip-hop DJs who are known to be merciless on their mixer, Pioneer DJ should have done better to stop this pervasive problem that, FYI, also happens on their other mixers and controllers. There are 2 questions this video will answer. Number 1. Is the DDJ-REV7 still worth it after 6 months despite this deal breaker and my other 2 problems? Number 2. Is the DDJ-REV7 better than the Rane One? Now before we begin, let me know down below what do you think is better, the DDJ-REV7 or the Rane One? And with that said, let's begin. Starting with the iconic 7-inch motorized jog wheels. Now, the platters, as you would expect from a $1,900 controller, feel really good, even after 6 months of use. They're responsive and lightning fast, and they can definitely keep up with hardcore scratching and juggling. And using these platters, whether on high or low torque setting, feel just as good or even better than using a traditional turntable and vinyl setup. Speaking of vinyl, the REV7 features vinylized jogs, so the top plate is acrylic and is finished with a vinyl-like texture, so gripping the vinylized jogs feels exactly like gripping real vinyl. The one small problem with this section though is that you can't really customize it with your own vinyl unlike how you can on the Rane One. But this is due because the REV7's platters feature a 3.5-inch LCD display which shows your track's information in a variety of different handy view configurations. And this on-jog display feature is pretty useful as this allows you to quickly glance at your deck and know all the info you need to know about your track instantly. Honestly, the 3.5-inch LCD display is a game changer, and I would much rather have this feature than the ability to customize my platter section. Now, there are more platter features I could talk about, but overall, the platters on this unit live up to the hype and do much more than expected. But which platter is better, the DDJ-REV7s or the Rane Ones? Well, both are responsive and feel incredible, and if you're a hardcore scratch nerd like myself, you won't be disappointed with either. But I personally prefer the REV7s solely because of their 3.5-inch LCD on-jog displays, which for me is now a feature I can't live without. Moving on to the other functions on the deck section. Starting from the top, we have a 5-inch tempo fader in a horizontal position. And this orientation may be off-putting for some, but for me, coming from a turntablist background, I found this positioning quite familiar and easy to use. In the beginning, I enjoyed using the tempo fader in this orientation, but the longer I used the unit, the more I began to miss using the tempo fader in its natural vertical orientation. Because doing this for a couple of hours a night just feels cumbersome, as this positioning was originally intended for use in short DJ battles and not long DJ sessions. So for this case, I prefer the positioning of the tempo fader to be at the right side of the deck, just like on the Rane One and 99% of all the other DJ controllers out there. Now, as a DDJ-REV7 is a premium high-end controller from Pioneer DJ, you will definitely be getting all the special functions and features only awarded to controllers of this price range and caliber. But the standout feature on this unit is its instant scratch function, which lets you rapidly fire built-in sounds whether your controller is connected to your laptop or not. And I personally love this feature even after 6 months of use, as using this makes scratch practicing quick, fast, and easy. All I have to do is turn on the unit and start practicing. If you want to use your own samples, you can do so with the Scratch Bank feature on Serato DJ. And speaking of features and Serato, one of the best features of Serato DJ is that you can stream music from a variety of different platforms. And the streaming platform I use to listen to music and DJ is Tidal, and there are 5 big reasons why. Number 1. Tidal has over 90 million songs and 450,000 videos, all in high quality. And this feature is a godsend for DJs for 2 reasons. Computers can only store so much, so having access to one of the world's biggest libraries of music is incredible. Any song we could possibly want to DJ with is now at the tip of our fingers. Also, to be able to play any song at any moment is extremely important, especially when you DJ at weddings and events where playing to the crowd's wants is the utmost top priority. Number 2. All the tracks in Tidal stream in lossless audio and high fidelity sound. So if you want to listen and DJ with tracks at their best audio quality, using Tidal is it. Also, Tidal offers MQA, Sony 360 audio, Dolby Atmos, and HiFi all in one place. So if you really want to give your crowd or your ears the best musical experience possible, streaming and playing lossless audio is the way to go, especially when you consider DJing in events, clubs, and festivals that utilize high-grade professional speakers. Number 3. Since Tidal is also made for DJs, this platform also features curated tailored playlists made by DJs for DJs. So if you want to mix and play a specific sound or genre, you're good to go. Now, I personally find this feature super useful for DJing since I don't have to waste time searching for songs and creating playlists. So DJing with Tidal just helps you relax and focus on mixing and giving the crowd a good time with really high quality curated music. So whether you're a beginner or a seasoned DJ, you'll find the tracks in these playlists will work with any situation, as these DJ-centered playlists are tried and tested by real DJs like myself. Number 4. If you ever find yourself in the middle of nowhere with no internet, don't worry. You can still listen to your tracks, provided you downloaded them to your offline locker. And number 5. Tidal pays out higher royalties than any other streaming platform. Now, if you want to get Tidal, now is the best time to do so. Sign up for Tidal's global offer today and get a 90-day standard or family HiFi Plus trial for $3. That's 3 months for just $3. Anyway, back to the video. Overall, the DDJ-REV7's deck section is pretty much perfect except for my very few nitpicky complaints. But is the DDJ-REV7's deck section better than the Rane One's? Well, that really comes down to 2 things: deck layout and deck exclusive features. So let's first highlight the Rane One's differences with the DDJ-REV7. The Rane One features a search bar which lets you scrub through your track. The Rane One's tempo fader is at the right side of the deck section. Most of the buttons on the Rane One are at the deck section. So the main advantage the Rane One has over the Rev7 is that it has a familiar controller layout. So if you're a DJ upgrading from a beginner or advanced controller, you'll be right at home. But if you're a DJ who's used to using a professional mixer like the DJI-S7, S9 or S11 or Rane 70, you'll definitely find the Rev7's layout much more familiar. All in all, though the Rev7 may be more expensive than the Rane One, I still prefer the Rev7's decks solely because of the instant scratch feature and on-jog display function. Those exclusive features are just extremely useful for my DJing and needs. But don't get me wrong though, this does not mean the Rev7 is better than the Rane One. There are still a couple of things to consider, so let's move on to discussing the Rev7's mixer section, which has a problem that may or may not be a deal breaker. So starting from the top, we have a 3-band EQ, trim, and filter knob. These components held pretty well for the past couple of months, and they still feel premium and new to this very day. Next, we have the effects section. And here we have 2 plastic effect paddles which have become the standard for turntablists and hip-hop DJ mixers and controllers. Now I prefer these effect paddles over other options as they make activating effects feel more streamlined and tactile to use. Since I got the Rev7, I've been absolutely abusing these effect paddles, and after 6 months of use, they're still going strong. What I did not abuse though was the wide effect selection the Rev7's effect section has. You see, the Rev7's effect section has 22 built-in effects, which means that you can activate any of these effects with or without a laptop. Now the thing is, no one really takes advantage of all those effects, as most DJs are completely satisfied with the echo, flanger, and reverb effect. But which effect section is better? The DDJ-REV7s or the Rane Ones? For me, it has to be the DDJ-REV7s, even though the Rane One's effect paddles feel more premium and better to use. Now the major reason why is because the REV7's effect section is built in, unlike the Rane Ones where you have to attach a laptop to just activate an effect. Below the effect section, we have the performance pad section, and everything here is pretty standard, and they're almost identical with what Rane One's performance pad section has to offer. Now the REV7's performance pads, just like on the Rane Ones, feel pretty premium. The major difference between the REV7 and Rane One here is that the REV7 has silent Q and smooth echo buttons. So when it comes to mixer features, the DDJ-REV7 again trumps the Rane Ones. Moving on to the faders. As the REV7 is made for turntablists, it must have a solid crossfader, and the REV7 does not disappoint with its Magville Fader Pro, which is the same crossfader on the DJI-S series mixers, so it's smooth, buttery, and durable. But how does the DDJ-REV7's Magville Fader Pro feeling compared to the Rane One's Mag 4 crossfader? Well, they're both similar. I know I'm a scratch nerd, but I'm not that deep into the hobby to be a stickler of quality faders. Honestly, the Magville Fader Pro and Mag 4 crossfader are some of the best crossfaders in the market, and any DJ would be more than happy to use either. So for this category, in terms of crossfader feel, it's a tie for me. But what's not a tie for me though is crossfader customizability and adjustment. On the REV7, adjusting the feel of your crossfader on the fly is easy. All you have to do to get your desired feel on the crossfader is to turn the feeling adjust knob here. Now a major advantage the Rane One has over the REV7 is crossfader customizability and maintenance. If you want to replace your crossfader or clean it, all you have to do on the Rane One is just remove the mixer faceplate and adjust from there. The REV7 on the other hand, well, you need to flip the unit over, remove the backplate, and unscrew and unribbon some other plates. So if you're into upgrading and tinkering your crossfader like most scratch DJs are, the Rane One is a more preferable unit to work on than the REV7. So for this round, in terms of crossfader customizability and maintenance, even though the REV7's crossfader is easier to adjust on the fly, for long-term use, I prefer the Rane Ones. Speaking of long-term, a major disadvantage the REV7 has over the Rane One is mixer faceplate paint durability. As you can see here, the mixer section on the REV7 is scratched out, and that's due to average wear and tear when scratching. But on the Rane One, this section is pristine, and that's because the Rane One's faceplate is simply more scratch resistant and durable. I am 100% sure that eventually this section here on the REV7 will get worse and worse the longer I use it. And this is extremely disappointing because the REV7 is made for turntablist DJs who are known to abuse their mixers. So for me, the Rane One's crossfader section is more preferable than the REV7's, simply because we have more accessible options for crossfader maintenance. Anyway, let's now move on to inputs and outputs. The back of the REV7, just like on the Rane One, features a wide selection of inputs and outputs that would make any traveling DJ happy. Now, which input and output section is better? Well, it really depends on you and your needs. If you need more XLR outs, the Rane One is the better choice. If you need more variety such as PL outs, the REV7 is superior. All in all, both units cater to a professional DJ's needs. And speaking of professional, the REV7 and Rane One are made from premium materials, but in terms of toughness and durability, I personally found the Rane One to be the better choice as most of the unit is made from solid steel. And now let's move on to our last section, which is software compatibility. So the REV7 only works with Serato DJ, while the Rane One can work with Serato DJ Pro, Virtual DJ, and Algorithms DJ Pro. So if you value software variety, the Rane One is the clear winner. All in all, the DDJ-REV7 after 6 months of use does indeed live up to the hype. It's not perfect, but it does a good enough job to be definitely considered one of the best controllers to come out in a long time. Since this is Pioneer DJ's first foray into this type of controller for this type of market, they definitely got the most important parts right, like the motorized platters, mixer section, and crossfader. There are of course some caveats to consider on the REV7, like the positioning of the tempo faders, a mix of plastic and metal construction, less than stellar faceplate, not so turntablist friendly crossfader section, and of course, price tag. So which unit to go for? The DDJ-REV7 or Rane One? Well, let's simplify it. If you value features like the 3.5-inch jog display, instant scratch function, built-in effects, and on-the-fly adjustable crossfader, the DDJ-REV7 is worth its premium price. But if you value a traditional controller setup, software flexibility, solid steel construction, durable and scratch-proof faceplates, and easy vinyl and crossfader customizability, then the Rane One is for you. As for me though, I'm gonna go for the REV7, mainly because of the features I just mentioned. Though the REV7's faceplate is not to the same standard as the Rane One's, and though you can't easily customize or maintain your crossfader, at the end of the day, it's about the equipment functionality that enables you to DJ better that matters most. And I can confidently say that after 6 months of use, the REV7's features indeed make me DJ better. But what do you guys think? Is the REV7 better than the Rane One? Comment down below. And with that said, thank you so much for watching everyone, and I will see you all in the next one.